Let's take you live now to outside the Pietermaritzburg High Court.
The NPA would have done the right thing, and by that time Downer would really be an accused number one in that case.
Mr. Manyi, what the court has also said, basically, they've given you enough time to even consider if you will go to the Constitutional Court. If the Constitutional Court upholds what all the other lower courts have said with regards to Downer's title to prosecute, in other words, that he will be the lead prosecutor, what then will happen on the 1st of August?
No, look, I think the 1st of August is also based on all kinds of hopeful thinking. That one hopeful thinking, number one, is that there would be a decision from the SCA. That's hopeful decision number one. Hopeful decision number two is that the SCA would probably dismiss again and all of that. Hopeful number three is that even the Constitutional Court might even refuse to hear us as it were. So those are all the assumptions that are informing this 1st of August date, which, if you look at it, are actually worrisome assumptions in the first instance, although they look reasonable, but the underlying assumptions on this they are all negative as it were. But be that as it may, we will cross the bridge when we get to it.
So in other words, if this matter goes ahead, you've got two terms that have been set down. It's 15 August until 16 September and then 7 November to 2 December. Will you be ready if this matter by force, by fire goes ahead?
Well, I think there are quite a few people that that question applies to. Will the NPA be ready? Because by that time, Downer will be accused number one at that time. So if the NPA is also happy to go with whoever it would be, then it should be fine. So indeed, with everything going according to all the negative assumptions, then 1st of August is the date. So we hope then that the negative assumptions play in one way or the other, and then we know where we are. Right now, it's really too many ifs here, because what happens, for instance, if the Supreme Court of Appeal does the right thing, and the right thing would be to rule in our favor, then what happens? And all of that. So I think it is very important for South Africa to always err on the side of caution, and the side of caution is not the one that just assumes that we lose. Part of the assumption must be what happens if we win. So then where does that leave us? So we also have that to put in the mix. So we don't know which really is going to happen.
But if you win, then it means then the former president will finally, as he's always wanted, have his day in court. So I'm saying to you, will you be ready? He's been wanting it. And what kind of people, if you can tell us, is he hoping to call to the stand to defend this case?
I think that would be a great day. President Zuma is looking forward to that day. In particular, I mean, what South Africa is not aware of right now is that as we speak here and now, on the indictment sheet of President Zuma, we're only talking about the 4 million. So this excitement by the whole country is actually a misguided excitement to say we're going to get to the bottom of this. The real culprits are not even in the space. So for President Zuma to take the stand, hopefully, we're going to talk about the billions that Delil spoke about in Parliament. Those are the billions that people should be worried about. President Zuma is a small fry in this scheme of things. Yeah? His issue is I beg your pardon?
I'm saying even 4 million counts, it doesn't matter the amount.
No. It's just a lousy allegation which is not even linked to any particular contract. You see, you should be able to be in a position that says, here is 4 million on the table, here is this contract that you enabled, and all of that. None of that is on the table. It's just wishy-washy story that has been put here by the NPA, which President Zuma will easily respond to. But I'm trying to say to you today, the key issue here are the billions of rands that were squandered somehow in the arms deal, and the beneficiaries of those billions is not President Zuma. So this case must focus on who are the real beneficiaries of these billions? It's not President Zuma. So we're looking forward to that day. This 4 million is a really non-issue. President Zuma will explain that very easily. I mean, in that 4 million, by the way, part of what is included are just things like car wash, bills that are part of this thing, dry clean, that is part of this thing. It just because it's happened over years. So when you think it's 4 million, the impression is given that a chunk went in. No, it's just a collation of rats and mice over years. It comes to that amount. But none of that, President Zuma will make the case here that none of that is corruption related.
Mr. Manyi, when this matter finally goes to court, do you think that the former president will have a fair trial?
President Zuma will never have a fair trial as long as Downer is the prosecutor. So we are hoping that the private prosecution by that time would have taken effect, and by that time, if that has happened and we have a new prosecutor, then it's got a fair chance. But as long as the guy is still here, then it can never be a fair trial.
It would seem, judging by what you are saying.
We apologize there for that inconsistent connection, but the spokesperson of the Jacob Zuma Foundation Mzwanele Manyi there throwing a spanner in the works, talking about anticipating the outcomes of the SCA appeal and saying if it goes in their favor, the state prosecutor Billy Downer will now be accused number one, which may change the course of processes. Let's take